Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about StableFund. StableFund has paused, stopped, rug pulled. Let me know your thoughts down in the description. Leave me a comment down in the comments, not the description. What am I saying? Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think they've done. Listen, I think they've essentially, for now, rug pulled. Anytime you pull funds out of a contract that were supposed to be going to people, you've pulled the rug out from under investors. So that's rough. There's a project I'm looking at now. It's a bit of a StableFund Alternative. Let me talk about that a little bit later in the video, but let's just say this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a reminder that we have to stay diversified and we have to manage risk when it comes to high-risk crypto projects. These projects claim that they're decentralized when they're not. Decentralized projects don't have a centralized entity controlling them. They don't have a developer that could get hit by a bus and kill a project. And a lot of projects are moving towards decentralization, but a lot of projects are claiming they're decentralized and they're just not. A lot of projects have deception in them, and I think it's fair to say now that StableFund definitely had some deception going on. And that's really, there's two things that made me feel like this project was being deceptive. And any time that I feel like, for me personally, Crypto Wealth, yours truly. And by the way, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a cryptocurrency enthusiast. I take high risk as well in crypto. In fact, I have my entire plan or project that I'm doing personally, not a crypto project, just an entire strategy that I'm doing personally where I'm depositing $5,000 into high risk crypto projects. And then I'm using what I feel is good risk management to take risk off the table. And what most people are doing is they're taking risk off the table and they're going into other high risk projects and other high risk projects and other high risk projects. What I'm trying to do, what my goal is to take risk off the project, off the table, take risk out of a project or take profits out of a project and not go into another high risk project, but instead go into lower risk projects and then take more profit and go into even lower risk projects. And in the end, my goal is within 3 years, and I'll lay out the whole thing in my guide. You can go down in the description, subscribe to this. I'll put a link down below. The whole idea is by the end, I'm going to have $50,000 that I'm going to be earning in passive crypto from projects with real business, meaning it's real yield in Apex assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Tron, USDT. And it's coming from true business profits. That's the whole idea behind my 3-year challenge. However, I too am investing into high-risk projects, but for me, I want to feel like the developers are honest with what's going on. I understand almost all these high-risk projects are going to have a lifespan. I assume none of them are going to be sustainable. That's part of my risk management. I go into these projects, especially if they have some sort of Ponzi-nomic mechanism, they're going to keep printing a token. I know eventually the price is going to go down of that token. I understand it. But I also know that sometimes we can make a lot of money in the short term. The goal is taking that profit and moving it. But we have to have risk management. So part of my risk management is looking for deception. When I see deception, I immediately put the brakes on. There's two things that I saw with StableFund that bugged me a little bit. One thing is that they claimed they had a trading bot. They didn't have a trading bot. If they were saying, hey, we're a game and we're just a smart contract game, make deposits, make withdrawals, and eventually the contract will get drained, and we know that, we're going to try to prevent it from happening really fast. We're going to try to create some sort of game theory mechanics to prevent it from happening. We're going to try to give you an incentive to want to keep your funds deposited on the platform. Then I would be okay with that. I understand that. That's honesty. There's a level of integrity there. But when you claim that you have a trading bot, and by the way, this is only one thing that raised a red flag for me, but I'll get to the second one in a minute. But when you claim that you have a trading bot, and now in my opinion, you're going to trick the newest investor, the most naive investor. I think a lot of people knew there was no trading bots. I mean, let's face it. If they had a trading bot, they have the world's best trading bot since the history of mankind. They're producing the most stable returns of any trading bot in the world. By the way, I fell victim to stuff like this too earlier in my crypto journey. But when you see deception, it's like, no, there's no trading bot. They've never proven there's a trading bot. I don't believe they ever will prove that there was a trading bot. If there's a trading bot, they would have never had to stop staking. They could have kept this going. But as the contract drained, there was no trading bot able to produce returns high enough to pay the returns. So therefore, it wasn't ever going to work. So I think that's when you're looking for something to invest in, you got to look out for the deception. Now, I will tell you the other thing that raised kind of a red flag for me was when they claimed they were going to get a Visa card. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, any crypto project, specifically one that's in decentralized finance, that claims they're both decentralized and they're going to get a Visa card, be very, very leery of that. First of all, Visa cards are hard for any company to get. I worked with companies several years ago that was working to try to get their own Visa card. It's actually quite challenging. I mean, it's very challenging to get I'm not talking about a co-branded Visa card. I'm talking about just a true Visa card that your bank or financial institution is able to run through Visa, similar to what Crypto.com has, for example. They have a partnership with another bank that does it. It's very convoluted. It's very difficult to pull off. So there's a lot of crypto projects over the years that claim they're going to get a Visa card. The moment I hear that, I usually think that's garbage. So that raised a red flag for me. So I never went into this project, and I didn't plan to go into the project. I will show you a project that I'm looking at now. I'm a little bit leery because for me, if you've seen my 3-year my 3-year retirement challenge, that you know that I have a high risk project, and the whole goal is to take a $5,000 investment and then compound it, start pulling off returns, and start diversifying to low risk projects and low risk projects. But StableFund made me think, okay, I need to find something else high risk just in case. I need to, put like $500,000 into something, let it compound, no plans to pull it out, just let it compound. In case my first high-risk project that I mentioned in my guide goes under, then I got my second one. So I've started looking at the Farm of Fortune. Now, I'll put a link in the description in this one. I like that it's been audited. There's a verified contract. They have a small but active Telegram. The project is still new. I mean, this is about 3 weeks old, 4 weeks old, but this has started growing really fast. I've been following it since there was, I think, a little over 200 BNB in the contract invested. The balance, by the way, is not what's paid out. That's just the balance in the contract. What's been invested, they take part of that, and they claim that they're trying to un-Ponzi their farm. And here's let me show you this. You can take a look at, I'll put a link in the description. You can take a look at this whole article. And there's 2 articles, but the first one is the whole idea is you're making a deposit. They're taking part of that deposit, they're putting in syrup pools, and then they're paying out the other part of the deposit, they're paying out in TVLs. And then the idea being that they're using a little bit of the game theory of kind of fractional reserve banking, and they're kind of letting people do a reinvestment. And of course, when you do a reinvestment, you can't compound, you have to actually withdraw and reinvest. And when you do that, you're making another deposit in the syrup pools, and the whole idea is these syrup pools keep compounding, and the goal is that the earnings from the syrup pools get to pay everybody else back. I don't know if that's even possible at all, because I still think they're paying out too much for that to be possible, but I'm dropping 2 BNB. I got 0.7 in here now. I'm going to drop 2 BNB. By the way, this is not an endorsement for the Farm of Fortune at all. I'm skeptical that they can pull it off, but I figured I would throw something in there and just wait and see. So if you go in, I'll put a link in the description. If you go in at your own risk. I don't understand the math. I don't think the math still works. So someone can let me know if I'm not understanding this properly. This guy Nelson, he's wrote 2 good articles. I'll link both of them in the description. He wrote this one, and then he wrote this one. And he's talking about a strategy to turn 10 BNB into 800 BNB. By the way, you don't got to use my affiliate link. Go use his affiliate links. Go use whoever you want. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm just being... I don't think the math works. I mean, I guess it works if people don't ever keep withdrawing, but at some point people are going to withdraw. And so I don't know. They have these investment plans. So the APRs are quite high if you look at it. I mean, 135% over 90 days is basically 35% profit every 90 days. I don't know, maybe. No, because that would still be 4 months? That would mean that if you did perfect reinvestment, even on this plan, you're going to have 120% get paid out in a year. But the SERP pools pay out at most like 50 or 60%, unless using some of the higher risk ones. What they're doing, just so you know, they're taking the TVL that's been invested, they're taking half of it, and they're coming over here into pancake swap. Let me show you that right here. And they're coming into, I guess, the SERP pools, but as you can see, the APRs are not high enough on those. This one is up to 60%. So I'm not fully understanding how that's the quote-unquote rehypothecation. The fact that you're trying to give people a set percent every day may be the problem. I don't know. Here's what I know. I dropped in 0.7 BNB. I'm going to put 2 BNB over here. I'm going to compound. I'm going to draw every 5 days and compound and just see what happens in the project. I'm going to continue to follow the Telegram. The TVL is going up really fast. It's really early. If this one goes under, so what? It's 2 BNB. I'm literally probably not going to withdraw unless my first project over here goes under. Then I'll probably start withdrawing from here over the Farm of Fortune. Otherwise, I don't know, for the next 90 days or more, I may just keep I'll get 2 BNB here in a couple of days. I'll get it up to 2 BNB, and then I'll just, every 5 days you can make a claim, and then I'll just make a brand new deposit, and I'll probably just keep coming into this one over here. Again, I'm not certain I understand the math, so if anyone, how this could work and how it could quote unquote unponzi itself. If anyone else care to explain that or direct me to a video or a link, I'll be glad to read it. This link here doesn't necessarily explain that. I mean, there's good illustrations on how you could earn a lot here. We'll see. Here's what I think. At the very least, if this doesn't work, and there's no guarantee that it will, this article actually says that as well. If it doesn't work, then the investment into pancake swap could at least extend the life of the actual contract itself. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. Here's what I know, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful for projects that are deceptive, but even in projects that aren't deceptive, at some point the TVLs go down. Anything that the whole goal is to be able to make a profit, one day if the whole goal is to withdraw for profit, make a deposit and withdraw profit, make a deposit, withdraw profit, and that's the entire goal, that's the entire mechanism, there's no other greater utility, then chances are the project ultimately fails. And you just have to recognize that in crypto. And you have to have a plan. Listen, there's a lot of earning opportunities here, but people aren't seizing those opportunities. That's the whole goal behind my 3-year crypto retirement challenge, if I can pull it off. By the way, I don't encourage you to invest in anything that I'm investing in, including Farm of Fortune. But if you want to follow along on my journey, just go down below, subscribe. I'll put a link in the description and follow along with my journey. And let's just see if I can make this happen. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. It should be fun anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, decentralized cryptocurrency, truly decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.